Hey travelers. This fall, we took advantage of the lack of crowds and went to Athens, Greece, and it was amazing.
Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Started out with half and I flipped it into double. Said I'm a king, we gotta go. Take one, then I dash it away from pole.
We stayed in this really cute boutique hotel in Plaka, and I don't normally stay in the main touristy area, but once again, because of COVID, the rates were lower and there were less people, so it felt a little bit more authentic than I think it normally would. The area was beyond perfect, and I totally understand now why everyone wants to always stay there. Everything was in walking distance, and it was just really welcoming and cozy. Basically, every street was a postcard. Our first night just blew my mind because all we did was walk around the area, but you see all the gems that you're there to see in this amazing, rich, buttery lighting, and you just fall in love. I can honestly tell you that I've seen a million pictures, but none of them do justice. Like, seeing it in person just sets everything in place. So our first full day, of course, once again, we hit the top things. Acropolis is a must. Museum is a must. I will warn everyone that the trip up to the Acropolis is actually a little bit of work. It wasn't difficult, but if you're not in good shape, you will be huffing and puffing and definitely sweating by the time you make it to the top. Now, on the way, you do see all of these other things that are amazing that you're almost not expecting unless you've done a lot of research. You just get distracted that you're hiking up this hill. So after the Acropolis, right below it is the beautiful museum. And I highly recommend it. It's air conditioned. So what you do is you of course want to hit the Acropolis first thing in the morning if you can, before the sun gets to the height and the crowd gets crazy. Now granted, it was not very crowded. It wasn't crowded at all, actually. The only advice I will still give is, even though the crowds were low, if you can, in your budget, get the skip the line ticket, buy it in advance, because when we arrived at the museum, it was a long line of people that were waiting. Security, you have to go through security, and you have to also, of course, show proof of your COVID vaccination. So that takes a little bit more time. While our line, even though we still waited, it moved much faster and it was a much shorter line. I wasn't able to take many pictures inside the museum, and the reason for that was they had rooms that were restricted where you couldn't take pictures, and then some rooms you could. And what I ended up doing is, like, after you get in, you just get distracted and start enjoying where you are, and I just put my phone away and just took it all in.
Hey.
So on day 2, we decided that we were going to explore further away from where we were. We jumped on the subway, which we do pretty much in every city. It's just a good raw way to really see what it looks like outside of the tourist attractions. On On this particular day, we took the subway all the way to the coast. Two reasons. Number one, way less touristy, of course. It's not like a place that's set up for us to be visiting. But then number two, we were also going to be taking the ferry there. It's where the docks are. So we wanted to just kind of test that distance and see how that ride would be, because we did plan on taking the subway with our bags to the port so that we could jump on the ferry to go over to Santorini. Our next day, we're actually traveling to Santorini. This is Athens Part 2. This place is beautiful. You already know. That's why you're planning on going. I thought this was really funny. We were on a different floor when we returned to our hotel. And so this is the view that you see out of the kitchen on that floor. Like, who has this view just outside of a little hotel kitchenette? Weird. So there's a lot of history here, right? So the next day we had to go to the stadium. So we went to the Olympic Stadium. Just thinking about the history that took place there is just unbelievable. I feel like it had a hidden gem that people haven't really talked about, and that was the inside museum. You can go in and out in like 10 minutes if you want to, but I just really felt like it was a big piece of the actual stadium that might get missed a little bit. After kind of purposely getting lost as we walked through the city, we were headed to Mount Lycabettus. Oh, that's such a hard word. Lycabettus? I think that's how you say it. Mount Lycabettus? That. We were on our way there and purposely just kind of got lost, taking it in. You know, I love to stop in grocery stores when I travel internationally just to see what they have that I don't have so I can get jealous. And we did that on the way, so that was a lot of fun.
Hey. Hey, this cream. I'ma take the team. We gon' be hot, hot like steam. I just got the dreams. I know what you mean.
I will say that it was totally worth it, because when you get up there, seeing the whole entire city the way you are. From the Acropolis, you could see it, but now you can see the Acropolis, and that was breathtaking.
Hey.